Now on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline is friend of the program, our favorite Canadian, voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell. Greg, welcome back to the program. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning, gents, from the City of Roses, Portland, Oregon.
Hey, it's a great time to be following BYU soccer in the City of Roses, or anywhere for that matter. We'll get to that in just a moment. But let's go back to what in the world happened on Saturday night with this BYU football team upsetting then 14th-ranked Boise State. Greg, how did the Cougars pull that off?
Well, both teams were down to backup quarterbacks. We can't just say it wasn't because Bachmeier wasn't playing, because BYU was down number 1 and number 2. So let's call that a bit of a wash and say that BYU out-executed Boise State. They recovered from an early touchdown against on Boise's first possession and beat them the rest of the way. And now you've kind of set the bar, right? If you were to look at the halfway point and see BYU at 2-4 and assess their final 6 regular season games, you'd say that Boise State was the toughest of the lot, right? Well, now that you've won that game, you've set the bar again. And so now you've got to hit these final 5 regular season games saying, if we've done that, why can't we do this? And we do, and this in this case is just keep winning.
It's been inconsistent, to say the least, right? Some nice wins, some tough losses. What kind of change, perhaps, do you hope or expect BYU has going into the last 5 games, given that BYU did what they did with a lot of backups?
It seemed to me that in the Boise State game, there was an extra fire, energy, focus, investment. I don't know. Mitch kept reporting from the sidelines how different the bench area felt in that game. And you want to be able to replicate that. I'm sure that there was a bit of a reset button hit before the Boise State game. I'm sure that Kalani had these guys particularly motivated. But can you do it 5 more weeks or 6 more weeks? They have to find a way to do that, because it just felt different to me. It felt like something that might have been lacking was now present. But can you do it again? You have to be able to do it again. You have to be able to replicate whatever you found that night against Boise State. Because, again, you've shown people and yourselves, if that's what we can do against that kind of team, why can't we go to Logan and win? Why can't we win the rest of our home games? Why can't we finish the season against a Rocky Long defense and play well? Why can't you do all these things that are ahead of you? And why can't we get back to a postseason game and win a postseason game? Why can't we just keep winning and finish this thing out in a very special way?
Greg Wrubell with us on BYU Sports Nation. Amidst the ups and downs, the roller coaster, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation that BYU football has put forward, what has been, or who has been, the most consistent thing through 7 games for BYU football?
Well, maybe the what would be kind of like a constant personnel upheaval, right? Kind of week to week, they're dealing with something new or different, not necessarily in a positive way, and having to overcome that. You know, when you lose Tyson Williams and Zach Wilson and Jaron Hall in essentially back-to-back weeks, you're taking arguably your 3 best offensive players, no offense to Matt Bushman, off the football team in quick order. And I think we'd have to put Matt probably ahead of Jaron there, and Matt's been so consistent and reliable. But you know, those are 3 really key players to have to lose. And you know, defensively, it's been kind of a rotation situation as well, with so many guys in and out due to injury, and some guys are getting healthy, and that's positive. But it's really been, I think, kind of a war of attrition for BYU on the health front from the get-go.
Should BYU consider Baylor Romney for the starter next week at Utah State, or should it be Jaron Hall? What do you think?
Well, if Jaron Hall doesn't get, knocked out of that USF game, he's the guy for the foreseeable future until Zach gets back. And so the only reason Jaron misses those 2 series in the next game is due to health. And, Jaron did, Zach won it over Jaron, and Jaron won it over Baylor, and Baylor won it over Joe. And so there was a pecking order based on some real definables out there. And so, I think Kalani's right to say it's a competition again. Once Jaron's back and doing everything we like him to do, it's a competition, and they'll work that thing out. But certainly, Jaron did nothing wrong in the USF game, to do anything other than have the coaches consider him to be, the guy when he's ready to go again. He's a special player. I mean, he's making plays all over the place against USF. They didn't win the game, but let's remember that when he left the game, BYU was leading. BYU was in front when Jaron Hall left that game, and BYU couldn't get back in front without him. So we'll let the coaches compete it out and let the players compete it out But again, Jaron Hall was not doing anything other than, I think, performing to expectations when he left that game.
The voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell, joining us from the Pacific Northwest as he prepares to cover BYU women's soccer. We're talking BYU football right now, and Greg, you brought up the final 5 games for BYU, beginning with at Utah State, and then bookended with what is looking like a very tough game at San Diego State. Which do you think is the bigger test left on the schedule of those Mountain West teams, Utah State or San Diego State?
I'll go Utah State because the Aggies have won back-to-back games against BYU, 3 of 5 in the games in Logan. San Diego State, although BYU doesn't see them as regularly, obviously, they've won the last 5 games against the Aztecs. Rocky Long certainly has a good football team. But they're 6-1 right now, one of the top defenses in the country. But I think for the reasons I just mentioned, the rivalry nature of the game, the fact that the Aggies have played well against BYU, that's the bigger one right now.
Florida's AD tweeted that, hey, we're looking for a Power 5 series, a home and home. I like to say home and road just so I know it's not 2 home games. But should BYU, who is considered a Power 5 equivalent by many conferences, pursue Florida on the schedule in the future?
Well, Jaron, BYU's got to find a way to get a win in Florida sometime, right?
That's right. In the Swamp is asking a lot.
So why wait for UCF in 2024 or whatever it is? Fire it up quickly as possible. Got to get a win in the Sunshine State. Why not?
Greg, there's been conversation always about BYU schedules and whatnot. To you, is there, in terms of finding the right balance on a schedule that BYU could win enough games to make a splash and be relevant nationally, is there a certain amount of Power 5s that perhaps fill the cup, if you will, or does that vary depending on what Power 5s you play, in your opinion?
I think BYU is probably in the sweet spot right now, the way they're doing it. I think it's kind of funny to look at, let's just say for the sake of argument here that BYU, wins out, okay, and they finish with a 9-4 season, and I think a lot of folks should be satisfied with that. Then you'd go back in the season and you'd see just 2 games. Again, this is presuming BYU plays well enough to win their last 5 games. They'll be favored in 3 of them at least. You'd go back and you'd say, well, okay, 9-4, pretty good. Washington got away from you. Utah got away from you. You gave away the Toledo and South Florida games, basically. You wouldn't have been too far away from an 11-2 campaign. And if you can win 11 games with the kind of schedule BYU put together this year, again, you're setting a bar for yourself. And let's look back at, why did BYU lose the Toledo game? They had they had a lead in the third quarter, had a lead in the fourth quarter. They throw a crazy pick after they've gotten the ball back late. They missed field goals in that game. South Florida game, another missed field goal, quarterback getting knocked out, drop a punt snap. Some weird things go on. So there's really only 2 games that get away from you. And again, this presumes that BYU can do what we hope BYU can do to finish things out here. But that's been done with a pretty difficult schedule, with a decent number of P5s, and they're all kind of jam-packed into the front. But I don't think BYU's in over its head at this point. Yeah, you'd like to be a little healthier coming out of your first month of the season. You'd like to maybe not have the gauntlet of back-to-back to back-to-back every year that seems to tend to take kind of a physical toll on you. But I think BYU can handle what Tom Holmoe and Kalani Sitake are putting on the Cougars' plate.
BYU football obviously riding the high of that Boise State win. But, hey, don't blink. Here comes BYU basketball, who are in the midst of getting ready for Midnight Madness, and they open the season in just a couple of weeks. Greg, so let's talk some BYU basketball. Both Andy Katz of NCAA.com and Seth Davis, national writer, have said some very, very nice complimentary things about BYU. And they like the Cougars' chances to compete in the WCC and get into the NCAA tournament. What do you think the ceiling is for this group, given all of the, adversity that BYU has faced with injuries and whatnot, and a Yoli Child's 9-game suspension? What's the ceiling for this team?
Well, before the Yoli Childs, Gavin Baxter, and Zach Selja's situation, you would have liked BYU's chances to put together a pretty solid non-conference resume. And then take your chances in the WCC and basically ask BYU to earn its way into the tournament based on November and December. Well, with no Yoli Childs for most of that non-conference, Zach Selja's rehabbing at the start of the season, and no Gavin Baxter for the season, suddenly that non-conference portion of the schedule looks a little more daunting. And Mark Pope will never want to set a ceiling on his program, and he's going to approach the season and every game as if, we're going to win this one and the next one and the next one too. That said, the non-conference looks different than it did, a couple of months ago for BYU, and it'll be a grind to get where they want to go heading into league play. Once you get into league, Gonzaga's Gonzaga. They had a close scrimmage with Michigan State and beat them handily over the weekend, reportedly, and Michigan State's your number one preseason team by most accounts. So, Gonzaga is all but untouchable right now in the West Coast Conference. As good as BYU is or can aspire to be, and as well as they've played Gonzaga in the past, winning its fair share of games, it's a behemoth. It's a national powerhouse. And so, you hope to compete, but let's not forget that St. Mary's maybe has one of its best teams in recent vintage. So it's always going to be a grind to finish above, third place in the West Coast Conference. And so what can you do out of league? And what BYU is able to do out of league, this year, the chances are somewhat mitigated by the fact that BYU is down personnel to start. When Mark Pope says I got 7 guys, he's literally talking about 7 available scholarship players to open the season. That's not counting Zach Sellius, who might get back sooner than later. But you're literally looking at 7 scholarship guys to open the year. And the year opens with a stout schedule. And Maui's a part of it, obviously. So it's a challenge. I look forward to see what Mark and the guys are going to do with it. And again, I've kind of felt with this basketball team, guys, that you can, have the chip on the shoulder underdog mentality work for you. BYU doesn't always necessarily have that going for them. I think this year they do, because expectations are mitigated. As much as people think BYU could be an NCAA tournament team, by the same token, as down as they are in personnel, it could be a grind. So I think it's fascinating and potentially very intriguing.
Well, there's 3 guys right here talking. Plus 7, that makes 10. I think we're just fine, Greg. What are you talking about? Women's soccer plays tonight with 11 on the field. Many more scholarship players. Big game with Portland. This has been a traditional power, a team that BYU's kind of overtaken as the team to beat in the West Coast Conference. What can you say about the matchup tonight as BYU continues to try and pursue a top 4 seed into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, top 4 is well. We talk about meaning be one of the 4 number 1 seeds. You mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to. I think right now BYU would take a 2 and run with it.
Yes.
Chris Henderson's projection has them as a 4, meaning you're one of the 4 seeds, and BYU is certainly better than that. And so right now if you look straight at RPI, it's tough to give BYU a 1 or a 2 seed today. Now they've got a couple of nice RPI games coming up against top 100 teams in the WCC. But if you look at how BYU plays, that says 2 seed to me. That says a team that's in the group with those 1s and 2s. And so that's why I think every game is like a national statement, kind of a referendum. You can't just beat teams. You almost have to kind of drub teams right now. And it's not a matter of sportsmanship. It's a matter of showing just how good this team is. Realize that if BYU were to score 2 goals tonight, they would end the night as the highest scoring team in all of college soccer. They've got 50 goals. Stanford's got 51. Stanford plays tomorrow night. And so that's what's really at stake for BYU, not just winning, but dominating and showing that, the RPI may be a few ticks below what you might expect from a traditional 1 or 2 seed, but this is who we are. This is how we play. This is how good we are. And so I really think it's BYU keeping the foot on the gas all the way to the end here. And as far as Portland goes, BYU's never lost to Portland since the Cougars joined the WCC. It's 8 straight wins over the Pilots. And so, Portland's trying to recapture some of its historical magic, but it's a work in progress.
Greg, great stuff from the Pacific Northwest. We thank you for the time. Wish you the best of calls for BYU in Portland. And Jaron wants you to know he's a medium. So if you go to the Nike employee store, bring him back something that's a medium.
And say hi to my father-in-law at the game.
I will do that, but I thought you'd be an L. I thought you'd be a large, but you're a medium.
I'm a medium kind of guy. Yeah.
Well, good for you. I applaud that, because I've hit large territory and I'm never going back. My body won't let me go back to medium, so I applaud you. I'll keep that in mind.
Greg, thanks, man.